Welcome back to my channel. My name is Setson. Today I want to show you how you can set up a TypeScript project from scratch. This is the official website of TypeScript. What is TypeScript? Well, TypeScript is the superset of JavaScript. So TypeScript is JavaScript with syntax for types. For you to be able to follow along this tutorial, you need to have at least bare minimum knowledge of JavaScript. Why TypeScript? TypeScript is often preferred over JavaScript because it provides additional features that make development more robust and maintainable. I want you to go to downloads up here, click on downloads. There are a number of ways that you can use TypeScript. You can use it per project, or you can just install it on your computer globally. This is the method that we're going to use right here. So let's copy this line here. By the way, you need Node installed on your computer. So I'm going to open my terminal and then run this command, npm install -g TypeScript. And hit enter. And if you want to confirm whether it has been successfully installed, you can just write tsc-v. Should show you some version of TypeScript right here. This is TypeScript compiler, which compiles your TypeScript into JavaScript, which can be run in browsers or using Node. Then we can go ahead and create our project. Let me head over to my desktop. So I'm going to create a new folder, tsc-tutorial. But you can name it whatever you want. I want you to open this in your favorite text editor. So I'm going to open this in Visual Studio Code, and you should have your folder open. Now we can set up our TypeScript project. The way TypeScript works, you need to create a file. I'll name it index, but you can name it whatever you want. The file has to have a .ts extension. The code that you write in this file is all JavaScript. Let me log something to the console so I can say hello world right here. For me to run this, I have to open the terminal. So I can run tsc and then the name of this file, which is index.ts. If I run this, you should see a new file created. There's an index.js file that has been created, which has the same information as this one. If I open this, you'll see right here, it has this console.log hello world, which is similar to what I had. So this TypeScript compiler is the one that compiles your TypeScript code into JavaScript code. So we're doing all this manually. And so if I want to run this JavaScript file, I have to use node index.js, and you can see it printing down here hello world, and so everything is working. But this is not the way you want to run your TypeScript, because you are manually doing everything. For you to automate this process, you have to create a TypeScript configuration file. So the way you do that, you run tsc, which is TypeScript, the compiler -- init to initialize a TypeScript configuration file. If I run this right here, you should have a tsconfig.json in your folder right here. So if I open this file, you should see a number of directives. Most of them are commented out. The ones that we want to change are the root directory, which is this line right here. We should specify the root folder within your source files. Our source file is index.ts. We need to specify a root directory here. So I'm going to uncomment this by just hitting Control// on Windows. I'm sure it's Command// on Macs. Let me say source src. We're going to create a folder called src, which we're going to put this index.ts file. That's the first directive we need to change. Okay, the other one is the out directory right here. Uncomment this line. The instruction says specify an output folder for all emitted files. I want to call this build, but you can name it whatever you want. The next thing, you have to create these two folders, the source folder and the build folder. So I'm going to create a build right here. And I'm also going to create an src folder. Okay, so once you create this, close this file right here. I'm going to delete this index.js. Let me delete that, move that to the recycle bin. And then I'm going to move this index.ts into the src folder. And now you can just use tsc to compile. If you open the build, you should be able to see an index.js right here. We don't want to manually run this all the time. Let's say let num a number of 50. You can do these type annotations in TypeScript. If I want to run this and compile it into a JavaScript file, I can just do tsc --wash. And then if I hit enter, you can see now it's watching for any changes. If I check this, you can see this is right here. This has been converted into JavaScript from TypeScript. So let's say I make changes to this file, say num, which is our variable, and then I reassign it to a 300, which you can do in TypeScript. You can reassign this. The value has to be a number. So if I save this now, it's automatically going to compile. And so if I go in here, you can see the number is 300 right here. Let's say console log changes. If you want to run your JavaScript file, this one, you can open a second terminal here. You can run that by running node. In the current directory, there is build, then there is a /index.js. And if you run that, you see here it says hello world and changes, because that's what we are logging to the console. We're logging this and this to the console. But if you want to run this automatically each time you make changes, then you can use node --watch. But you can only use this watch flag, I'm sure, with Node version 18.1 and above. If you have older versions of Node, then this will not work for you. It's the build index.js like that. So if I hit enter now, let me make changes here. Let me do a console log again. Hello from the index file. Let me save this. You see it recompiled right here. Basically, that's how you can set up your TypeScript environment. And now you can start writing TypeScript code. I'm not going to get into the details of the basics of TypeScript. I just wanted to show you how you can set up all this. But of course, there are other ways that you can set this up through React or Next.js and all those tools that are available. I hope this was helpful. If you find the video helpful, you can leave a like, leave a comment. You can also consider subscribing for similar tutorials. I hope to see you in my next one. Cheers.